Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, or good evening, no? Depende kung anong oras ninyo ito papanoorin or aaralin. Let's have a review material on property, plant, and equipment. This is just part 1. Sa part 1 na ito, pag-usapan po natin yung mga modes of acquisition, including na rin yung mga capitalizable cost of property, plant, and equipment. Okay? So, yan po ang sasagutin natin ngayon. Beginning with this question number 1, this is about acquiring PPE on a cash basis. Okay, so the company acquired a piece of specialized sports equipment on a cash basis for 480,000. Additional costs include the following: commission paid to brokers for the purchase, 20K, import duties, 70,000, purchase taxes totaling 25,000, 5,000 of which is refundable. Okay? Freight and handling cost, 7,500. Cost of assembling and installing, 10,000. Cost of testing the equipment, 8,000. Net of a 2,000 proceeds generated from testing the asset. Okay? Administrative or administration and other general overhead costs, 12,500. Advertising and promotion, 15,000. The question is, magkano yung initial cost ng PPE? Okay, so you have seen here a lot of information. Which of these are needed to be capitalized? Kasi dito meron tayong mga DAX. At yung iba ay expense when incurred. Okay, so pakita ko po yung sagot. The correct answer ay etong mga highlight po natin. Andito yung ating solusyon. To get this answer na letter B, 617,500. Now, careful ha. Kasi etong purchase taxes, inclusive of 5,000 refundable. Ang sabi ng standard, para maging directly attributable cost, ang mga taxes, they should be non-refundable. So dahil ito po ay refundable, take note, 25 minus 5,000. So 20,000 lang yung capitalizable. Pagdating naman dito, meron tayong testing cost, pero nineto yung 2,000 na proceeds. Ang sabi ng standard, the 2,000 should be taken to P&L and not to be netted against the cost of testing. So, add them all together. The answer should be letter B, 617,500. Okay? Moving on. Dito naman po tayo sa question number 2. Ito naman ay case ng acquiring ng PPE on a deferred payment o kaya installment basis. Okay. Binili daw ang PPE, which is a new furniture, nagbayad ng down payment, 150,000, and 4 monthly installment of 225,000. So 225 times 4, that is 900,000, di ba, in total. But the cash price equivalent is 925,000. Including, hindi pala including. The entity also incurred and paid additional installation cost amounting to 25,000. So, magkano yung i-capitalize natin? It should be the cash price equivalent of 925 plus the directly attributable cost of 25,000. The answer should be letter B. Okay? So, pa-take note, pag may cash price equivalent na given, yun po yung gagamitin natin. Pag hindi yan available, yung 900 plus yung 150 na down payment, it should be 1,050,000 plus 25, it should be 1,075,000. Kung hindi po available yung cash price equivalent. Okay? So, take note. Ito naman kasi ay monthly lang naman, less than 12 months, 4 months. So we don't need to discount the balance. Okay? Next question tayo. Question number 3. The same, no? Deferred payment or installment basis. But in this case, bumili ng bagong sasakyan, ang cash price ay 2.5 million. Okay? Pero, binigyan tayo dito ng info. 500 down payment, tapos 3 equal annual installment, no, na nagkakahalaga ng 1.5. Okay? And 10,000 ordinary shares. Okay, ito 750,000. The entity incurred handling cost 10,000. The estimated residual value is 100,000. Now the question is, magkano ang initial cost ng machine? By the way, the entity uses a 10% discount rate. Plus, in this case, the cash price is again available, amounting to 2.5. So we should select this plus the 10,000 DAX. So the correct answer should be letter C. No, we have to ignore the computation, no, of the present value. Hindi natin to kailangang i-present value. We can ignore this kasi cash price equivalent naman na ito. So, ito yung ating pipiliin. Okay? Take note po niyan. Alright. Proceed po tayo sa question number 4. Ganun pa rin. Pero, tignan po natin paano ito na iba. So, deferred payment, bumili ng 2 items of machinery. Yung isa, kapalit ng pagbili ng machine, nag-issue ng non-interest bearing note requiring 10 payments of 500,000. Okay? Yan. The first payment was made on December 31, 2025, and the others are due on December 31 of each year. Okay? The prevailing interest is 12%. In this case, no, mukhang kailangan natin mag-compute ng present value kasi binigyan tayo dito ng mga present value factor. Yung isa, ordinary annuity. Yung isa naman, for 9 periods, yung isa for 10 periods. 5.33 versus 5.65. Okay. Dito naman sa isa, nag-issue ng 2-year, non-interest bearing din. 3 million. 12% interest rate for similar note. The present value at 12% for 2 years. Ito, single payment. 0.8 at pag ordinary annuity ay 1.69. So dito, klaro na kailangan natin mag-compute ng present value factor since yung isa ay ilan to? 10 payments 10 years. Samantalang yung isa ay 2 years. So relevant yung ating time value. So we need to compute for the present value, pero alin ba ang dapat nating piliin? So we have to be careful. Pag one-time payment, present value factor, single payment, no? Pag series of payments, ordinary annuity. If at the end of each year, in this case, at the end of each year naman, no? Pero kung meron tayong paunang bayad o annuity due, ang pwede natin gamitin. Okay? So, pakita po natin yung solution. Yan. So, ano ang sagot ninyo? In this case, no, we'll have to select the 5.65 for 10 periods. Dito naman, we'll need to use the 0.80 one-time payment. Kasi ito, wala namang na-mention na series of payment. Pero ito kasi, requiring 10 payments. So kung 10 payments, ordinary annuity dapat ang pipiliin natin. Eh dito, wala namang nabanggit, no, na installment. So we will have to select the present value of 1. So single payment ito. So 500 times 5.65 plus 3 million plus times 0.8. Dalawang magkaiba po ito ha, na machinery. Okay? For a total of letter B, 5,225,000 pesos. Alright? So yan po for question number 4. Moving on, dito naman tayo sa question number 5. Ito na question number 5. Di na po ito bago sa inyo. Familiar po kayo dito, pero nagkaroon lamang ako ng modification. Ang tinatanong dito sa question na ito ay yung amount to be allocated to the non-depreciable asset. Alin ba dito yung non-depreciable? Hindi malamang yung land. So magkano daw yung cost to be allocated to land? Okay? So pakita natin yung solution. For question number 5, again, careful po tayo dito kasi magkaiba yung land improvement and building. Yun yung 14.4. Iba pa yon doon sa 18.6, no? Na furniture and equipment. Okay, so in this case, ang gagamitin po natin ay yung 14.4 million. Ito siya, times 13.5 over 20. Kasi land, 13.5. Land improvement, 1.5. And building, 5. Now, please take note that the land improvement is depreciated. Tandaan po ninyo yon, land improvement has to be depreciated. Land is non-depreciable, but land improvement is. Okay? I hope we are clear. Moving on, dito na po tayo sa question number 6. Ano naman ang tinatanong sa question number 6? Total amount that should be recognized as increase in land because of this acquisition. So, meron tayo dalawang check dito. Una, bumili ka ng tract of land kapalit ng 50,000 shares. With par value and market price, the last property tax bill indicated assessed value of 2.4. Sa isa naman, by donation received from a major shareholder. Okay? Walang binayaran except for the legal fees to transfer the title. The land is fairly valued at 1.2 million. Okay. Ano ang pipiliin natin dito? Now, punta tayo sa solution. Pakita po natin. Pa-take note in this case, itong property tax bill assessment ng 2.4 is not the amount that we will select. Hindi po yan yung fair value ng property. So in the absence of the fair value, we will have to select the fair value of the shares issued, which is 120 times 50,000 shares. That is 6 million. Pero hindi pa po tayo nagtatapos dyan kasi land din, pangalawa, fair value at 1.2, yan po yung ating gagamitin. Okay? Ano po ito, sir? Na no payment was required but the entity paid for legal expenses for land transfer. Okay? Hindi na po natin ito isasama. Okay? Bakit? Kapag meron po tayo, ito ibaba ko lang. Kasi baka isipin ninyo, sir, wala pong sagot dito. Because if the land is fairly valued at 1.2 and we paid 50,000 for legal expenses, shouldn't the total cost of land be 7.25 million? Kasi capitalizable po yung 50. The answer is no. And you have to be careful in this case. Okay? When legal expenses are paid, arising from a donated property, hindi po natin kinakapitalize yun, but deducted from the donated capital. Ito po, debit. Ang donated capital is a share premium. So, debit tayo ng share premium, donated capital, and credit, cash. It does not affect the fair value of the land Kaya yung land mo ay 1.2. It will not make it 7,150. And mali din po na sasabihin natin na 7,250 because it is not capitalized, no? Contra receivable tuloy. Contra share premium tayo. Alright? So, yan po for question number 6. Tuloy po tayo. Questions number 7 and 8 coming from this one set of question. Exchange of assets or trade-in. Yung mode of acquisition po natin dito. Bumili ka ng nakipagpalit, no? Pinalit mo yung old packing machine na yung cost ay 1.5, 50% depreciated. So yung carrying amount na lang niya ay 750. Kapalit ng gamit din na machine. Okay? At nagbayad tayo ng cash difference. Paid a cash difference. Dito we have to be careful. Nagbayad ba tayo or nakatanggap? Kasi magmamatter po yun kapag mayroong cash involved. Okay? The cash involved is 110,000. The fair value of the old packaging machine was determined to be 750,000. Ang tanong, what amount should be reported as the cost of machine acquired in exchange? And what is the amount to be reported as gain on exchange for question number 8? Okay? So, ano po ba ang mga sagot po ninyo dyan? Pakita ko yung solution. No? Dito, kailangan po nating mag-ingat kasi although manageable naman, kaya nga lang minsan sa dinami-dami ng inaaral, minsan nakakaligtaan at mabilis makalimutan. Okay, ang sabi natin, if the exchange has commercial substance, we need to consider yung fair value plus or minus the cash consideration. Dito, ang fair value ng machine mo ay 750,000. Okay? Bakit 750? Yung old machine. Okay? Ayan na, fair value ng old machine, 750. Nagbayad ka ng 110,000. So, idadagdag natin yon. Kung nagkaroon tayo ng receipt, cash collection, ibabawas natin yon. And that becomes the cost of the new machine. Okay? So, in this case, the cost of the new machine is 860,000. Debit, machine, new, 860. Okay, debit, accumulated depreciation. Or ineto na lang natin. No? Basta, kailangan natin, consider kung available yung accumulated depreciation. In this case, 50%. Dapat may debit ka dyan na accumulated depreciation. 750. Tapos magkikredit ka ng machine old, 1.5. Okay? So, kung meron kang machine old na 1.5, di ba? Tapos credit cash pa pala, 110,000. So, meron din tayong gain or loss on exchange. Okay? Tignan natin. Although kita na pala dito sa number 8, no? Ang sinasabi dito, wala daw tayong i-recognize na gain on exchange. Bakit? An item, okay, may explanation dito, An item of PPE acquired in a non-monetary exchange or a combination of monetary and non-monetary exchange is measured at fair value. Priority number 1, asset given up plus cash payment. Fair value ng asset given up natin dito, 750. Okay? Plus 110. So, kaya yun yung ating cost ng machine na bago. Kung nag-debit tayo ng 860, okay, nag-credit ka ng 860, minus, ineto ko na lang 750. No, hindi ba yun, sir, 110? The answer is no. Kasi may credit ka pa na cash, 110. So in this case, wala ka talagang gain on or even loss on exchange. 0. Kasi pag ginawan mo yan ng journal, although wala ditong journal entry, the fair value of your old machine is 750. Pero yung carrying amount ng machine mo ay 750 din. Ulitin ko if you do the journal entry, debit, machine, new, magkano yun? 860, di ba? Ito sa taas. Credit, machine, old. I-carrying amount na lang natin para mas obvious, 750. Credit cash, 110. Nagbayad ka So, kailangan mo ng i-credit yung cash. Hindi naman pwede na wala kang doon, wala kang entry. So wala tayong gain or loss. Parehas lang. And na-justify naman dito. Kasi yung fair value ng old machine mo ay 750 tapos yung carrying amount 750. Okay? So yan po for question number 8. Proceed tayo. Question number 9. Trade-in pa rin po ito. Ano po ang tinatanong dito? Amount to be recorded as the cost of the oil received in exchange. Okay. So, meron dito mga oil distributors to facilitate the delivery. Nagpalitan sila ng ownership of 1,200 barrels of oil without physically moving the oil. So, swap ng ownership. Yung hawak mo dyan, akin na yan. Yung hawak ko dito, sa'yo na to. Okay? Alex received from the company 300,000 from the other party 300,000 to compensate for the difference in the oil grade. It is reliably determined that the exchange lacks commercial substance. So anong sabi natin? Pag lacking ng commercial substance, wala po tayong gain or loss na i-recognize. Kung ano yung carrying amount, yun din po yun. So, dito, we are provided with info. 1 million, ang cost, 1.2 yung fair value. Di syempre, gagamitin natin yung 1 million, di ba? Pero wala namang available info dito. Or wala naman sa options na 1 million. Oops, wait lang. Meron tayong binayaran or natanggap? Meron tayong natanggap. So kung meron tayong natanggap, bawas natin. Tama ba? So, is it letter A? Pakita natin yung solution. Yes, letter A. The exchange lacks commercial substance, so wala rin tayong gain or loss na i-recognize. Okay? So, I hope clear po tayo sa mga exchange of assets or yung mga trade-in. Pag no cash involved, mabilis lang. Pero pag may cash involved, nakakalito ng konti. Okay? Tuloy-tuloy po tayo. Dito na po tayo. Isa pang trade-in example. Pero ang tinatanong ay loss to be recognized because of the exchange of assets. So at the beginning of the year, the company traded in an old machine. Carrying amount 2 million. Nagbayad ng cash difference for 600,000. Kapalit ng new machine na may cash price equivalent na 2.5. Okay. So, paano po ito? Kung nagbayad tayo, di ba, sinasabi natin, no? It has to be added or deducted. Paano po ba yon? Dagdag or bawas? Okay? Ano yung sagot ninyo? Pakita natin yung solusyon. Ito po tayo, no? Ito careful sa mga dagdag bawas. Sir, akala ko ba dinadagdag natin? Bakit dito binawas? Because ang available sa atin ay cash price, asa na yan? Cash price of 2.5. So kung cash price is 2.5, it already include the payment made. So kailangan nating ibawas para ma-determine natin yung fair value ng old machine. Kasi di ba, ang tinatanong gain or loss on exchange. If carrying amount, comparing it to the fair value of the old machine. Hindi available yung fair value ng old machine. So, madidetermine yon by deducting the 600,000 from the cash price of 2.5. So, the fair value of the old machine is 1.9. Comparing it doon sa 2 million, so meron tayong loss on exchange, 100,000. Although I failed to present the journal entry, but you can follow naman. The debit mo yung machine na bago, yung traded in, tapos credit natin, kagaya ng na-mention ko kanina, i-credit natin yung carrying amount ng asset na old, tapos kung may cash involved, and then gain or loss on exchange. Okay? So, yan po, class? Ito ating question number 10. Moving on naman po tayo sa question number 11. Okay, paano naman po itong question number 11? Acquiring PPE by self-construction, and in the process of self-construction, meron tayong borrowing cost na ika-capitalized. Okay? So, the beginning of 2025, the company borrowed 6 million. Interest rate 10% to finance specifically. So, meron tayong specific borrowing here. Okay? Nag-start yung construction ng January 1, 2025 with the cost of 6 million. Hindi lahat ng pera na hiniram ay ginamit kaagad. So, while, siyempre, cash management, ano mo muna yan, i-reinvest mo muna yan habang hindi mo ginagamit yung iba. So, in that process, merong na-earn na interest income na 80,000 yung company. The project was completed on November 30 of the same year. So, ang tanong, amount to be reported as the cost of the plant. O, syempre, yung 6 million, construction cost mo yan. Pero, we need to consider the borrowing cost, yung interest expense na ika-capitalized as part of the cost of asset. So, in this case, kung 6 million yan, times 10%, edi 600,000 dapat. Kaya lang, pang isang taon yon, 11 months. So, times 11 over 12, pakita ko na lang yung solusyon kasi hindi ko kabisado, no? Hindi na ako mag-calculator. So, 600 divided by 12 times 11. Okay, ito yun. 550,000. But wait, it's not yet the answer, no? Na 6,550. Pag specific borrowing, kung meron kang interest income or investment income na na-generate, bawas din natin yun. 80,000 in this case. So the answer is letter A, 6,470,000. Okay? So ayan, just presenting here the relevant provision of the standard. Okay? So, ayan po, for question number 11. Proceed po tayo sa question number 12 and 13. So, dalawa po ang hagip po nito. Borrowing cost pa rin, pero dito meron tayong general. General law. Okay. The construction began at the beginning of the year. Completed at the end of the year. So, walang problema. Ang nagiging challenge lang din naman sa atin sa borrowing cost kapag qualifying asset, it takes a substantial amount of time to complete. So, syempre, kinakapitalize natin last year. Kasama yan sa computation ng ating average, di ba? Weighted average. Okay. The construction cost totaled 12 million and was incurred evenly. Ito pa. Kapag meron tayong na-encounter ng mga evenly, divided by 2 po yan. Para doon sa ating average expenditure. No? The entity had outstanding notes payable 6 million, 9%, and 9 million, 6%. Now dito, we have to be careful. Kasi yung mga amounts magkakahalin tulad. 6 million, 9 million, 9%, 6%. Baka mapag-swap natin. 6 million, 6%, 9 million, 9%. Yari ka na. Okay? So, yun yung pang-distractor din natin dito. None of the borrowings were specified for the construction. So, general borrowing po ito. Wala tayong specific borrowing. So, what do we do? Okay? So, in this sense, we don't need to compute for the average, no? Kasi wala naman tayong mga acquisition or movement sa ating borrowing. So, or sa ating expenditure. So, mas mabilis-bilis po ito. Madali-dali lang computin. Okay, pakita natin yung solution sa numbers 12 and 13. Dalawa kasi yung tinatanong dito. Pakita natin yung solution ha. Okay. In this case, while wala tayong average expenditure, computation, I mean, ang average expenditure mo dito ay 6 million. 12 million divided by 2 or times 1/2. Yun na yung ating average expenditure. Pero, we need to compute for what? Yung average interest rate. Okay? Bakit? Yung isa 9 million. Yung isa 6 million. Yung 6 million, 9%. Yung 9 million, 6%. If we multiply it, o parehas ang kakalabasan. 540,000 times 2, 1,080,000. Pag 1,080,000 yung aking interest na total, at yung total principal na binaro ko ay 15 million. So, 180 divided by 15 million, magkano yung ating average interest rate? 7.2%. I-multiply po natin yan sa average expenditure of 6 million. So, magkano ang ating capitalizable interest? The correct answer is 432. That is why for question number 12, the answer is letter A. Okay? Pero, for question number 13, ang tinatanong, to be reported as interest expense. Sir, meron bang interest expense? The answer is yes. Kasi, kung ito yung annual interest mo, 9 and 6, at ito yung annual interest mo na 1,080,000, only the 432,000 will be capitalized as part of your PPE, yung ating construction in progress. The balance ay dadalhin sa P&L, expense when incurred. So in this case, 1,080,000 minus 432. Okay? Ayan. So the correct answer is letter B, 648,000 pesos. Alright? So, ayan po for question numbers 12 and 13. Meron pa tayong isa, acquisition by self-construction or borrowing cost. Ang tinatanong naman dito ay average interest rate. Baka sakali, ang tinatanong pala ay average interest rate. How should we compute for it? No, kanina, ito yung average interest rate. So, ibig sabihin, we need to compute for the interest annual, divide it by the total principal. Then, that is your average interest. Can this be applied dito sa scenario na ito? We'll see. Yung average expenditure daw during the year amounted to 3.9. The entity borrowed 2 million at 7.5%. Funds not needed for construction were temporarily invested and earned 59,000 in interest revenue. Bukod dyan, meron tayong 2 other notes during the year. 1.5, 10-year, 8% note, and 1 million, 10% 5-year note. Okay. The first question is, what should I do first? First question na, ano pang gagawin? Kita ko yung solution, para mabilis yung ating explanation, Okay. Ayan, kita na, Ano dito ang una nating gagawin? Similar doon sa pinakita natin sa previous, yung 9 million times 6 at yung 6 million times 9%, dito naman, yung 10-year. Asan, sir, yung 10-year? Ito. Yung 10-year note mo, 8%. So, kung 1.5 yan, times 8%, 120 yung annual interest mo. Yung isa naman, kung 10%, 1 million, pwede 100,000 ang ating interest dyan. Ang total general interest on borrowings ay for a total of 200, teka, sandali. Bakit 200, Double check natin 1,500,000 times 0.08. 120. This should be 220,000. Okay? Sorry hindi ko napansin. That should be 220. Okay, now 1.5 and 1 million. So that is 2.5 million. Double check na natin. 220, no? 220,000 divided by 2,500,000. 8.8%. Unfortunately, 8.8% is not available in this problem. Okay? So, yung 240 kasi divided by 2,500,000, that is 9.6. So, may modify kasi ako dito, ano? Kaya nagkataon na, ano no? Hindi ko napansin kaagad. So, in this case, 220 divided by, magkano ulit? 2.5. Modify na lang natin. That should be 8.8. Okay? So, ito na lang ang gawin kong 9.2. Ito yung gawin kong 8.8. Ayan. Ang tamang sagot dapat natin ay 8.8%. So, pa-take note po, no? Dito, meron tayong typo. Tanggalin natin yung, no? I-align ko lang din itong 8.8 at saka yung 9.2 doon sa ating pagpipilian. Ito ay 8.8. Ito naman ay 9.2. Okay? Double check. I-save ko muna. I-save natin dyan. Paki-take note na lamang po doon sa correction. Okay? So, ayan ano, class. 1.5. Double check lang natin. Okay. Tama naman. Now, ang tanong dito, what amount of interest ito affected din? Okay? So, what amount of interest should be capitalized? Ito is the average interest rate. Now, meron tayong specific borrowing. Asan yun, sir? Ito yun, ano? The entity borrowed 2 million at 7.5. Specific borrowing po ito. Okay? Nag-incur ka ng 59,000 for investment, ano no? For the portion na hindi pa nagagamit. So, 2 million times 7.5%. Double check natin na. Times 0.75, that is 150 minus 59,000. So at this point, no, for this specific borrowing, meron kang 91,000 pesos. Okay. Ito na, dahil na bago. No, that should not be 9.6. This should now be 8.8. Okay? So kung 1,900,000 times 88%, ito po ay magiging 167 na. 167,200. So pag in-plus natin yan, ito ay dapat 258,200. Okay? Ulitin natin ano, 150,000 minus 59,000 plus 167,200. It should be 258,200. Wala dito sa choices. Pwede gawin natin itong 258,200. No? 258,200. So, meron tayo. Bonus na agad itong dalawa. 258,200. Okay? So, ayan ano. If the borrowing is purely coming from the general borrowing, yung interest income, hindi po natin yan dinideduct ha. Eh, nagkataon, yung 2 million mo ay specific borrowing yan dito. Okay? So, ito hybrid or combination of general and specific. Alright? Next, acquisition by of PPE by government grant. So, ang tinatanong po dito, amount to be reported as deferred grant income. So, we have a lot to remember pagdating sa government grant. Pero ano ba muna ang tinatanong? Deferred grant income. Basahin natin yung cases. Yung case na ito. At the beginning of 2024, bumili ka ng machine, 7 million. May natanggap ka na grant from the government, 1 million. No? The machine is to be depreciated straight line. So, yung ating government grant to be depreciated, no? To be amortized din, straight line. Okay? Eh, yung treatment ng grant ay deferred income. So, on December 31, ito 2025, Kung 1 million yan, tapos 5 years, okay? O, tignan natin ha. Kailan natapos? Walang information, no? Kung kailan natapos. Sorry. Bumili ka ng machine, wala kang construction dito ng ano. Wala tayong construction dito ng PPE. So, matik po yan. Ang assumption natin dito, binili mo, magagamit na kaagad. So, 2 taon na ang pakinabang, di ba? 2024 and 2025. Kasi December 31, 2025, edi 1 million divided by 5 times 3. Yung deferred income should be letter C, 600,000. Double check natin. Is the answer letter C? At it should be. Okay? So, yan po, for question number 16. Moving on tayo. Ano po ito? Government grant pa rin, no? Lagyan lang natin ang proper label. Acquiring PPE by government grant. Okay. Ayan. Dalawa ang tinatanong. Yung isa reported, the amount to be reported as grant income, pero on 2023. At yung number 18, amount to be recognized as loss from repayment in 2025. Bakit? Ano bang nangyari? On January 1, 2023, meron siyang natanggap na grant, 1.5, no? To subsidize tuition fees for 5 years. On January 1, 2025, may na-violate na conditions of the grant. Ang sabi natin, kapag na-violate mo yung grant conditions, you have to repay in full kung ano man yung government grant na yun. Kung magkano man. So in this case, syempre, we'll have to answer muna 17 and 18. For number 17, amount to be reported as grant income for 2023, kung 5 years yan, magkano grant mo? 1.5 divided by 5, it should be letter B, 300,000. For number 18, syempre, 23, 24, dalawa na, di ba? So, 600,000 na yung na-recognize natin na grant income. So, ang tanong, yung 600 ba or yung 900? Yung loss mo is yung 600. Okay? Kasi you have to repay in full yung 900,000. Okay? Ito na lang yung remaining balance, ng government grant. Unearned, yung liability. No? I-debit mo, 900. Pero credit ka ng cash na 1.5. Payable in full, yung 1.5. So, yung 600 ay recognized as loss from repayment. Okay? So, I hope klaro po tayo dito. No? Alright? So, yan po, no? Next. Ito pa, number 19. Government grant din po ito. Okay, lagyan ko lang din ulit, no, ng label para properly accounted for tayo. Ganun din dito sa number 19. Okay. Ayan. So, ano ang tinatanong dito sa number 19? Amount to be recognized as grant income for the current year. Okay. Granted a tract of land by the provincial government of Hornogon. Okay? Fairly valued at 20 million. The entity is required by the grant to construct a research facility and to employ local residents from the area. Yung estimated cost is 22 million with an estimated useful life of 20 years. Nakompleto daw at the end of the current year. The question is, what amount is to be recognized as grant income for the current year? The answer should be 0. Wala pa. Kasi natapos yung grant mo, natapos yung construction at the end of the year, wala ka pang i-depreciate. In this case, sasabay tayo yung amortization sasabay doon sa ating facility. Okay? So, in this case, the answer is letter A. Kasi kakatapos lang ng completion ng facility. Sir, yung land naman, di ba, yung donation? Oo nga, yung land yung donation. Pero syempre, you have to amortize the 20 million over how many years? Kung 20 years yan, related to depreciable asset Okay? Binigyan ka ng lupa, magpapatayo ka ng facility. Kaya ka binigyan ng lupa kasi dahil doon sa facility. So yung pag-amortize mo, pag-recognize mo ng income, no, ay doon sa facility kung paano siya i-depreciate. Kakatapos lang at the end of the current year, wala ka pang depreciation for first year. So dito careful tayo. No? The depreciation will begin on the second year and so does the recognition of our grant income. Okay? So yan po no for number 19. Uy, meron pa. Ang dami namang government grant. Okay, ano po ba ang question dito sa number 20? Pumili ka ng machine, 8.5, may natanggap ka government grant, 1 million. The accounting policy is to treat the grant as reduction to the cost of asset. Or the 8.5 minus 1 million, 7.5. What is the carrying amount of the asset for 2025? 7.5 times 4 over 5. Ay, sandali. May residual value. 7 million times 4 over 5 plus 500. So, ito po yung ating solusyon. No? 7 million divided by 5 is 1.4. Okay? 8.5 minus 1.4 is 7.1. Sabi ko kanina, 7 million times 4 divided by 5 plus, anong sabi ko? Ano yun? Okay, so sandali ah. What is the amount? O teka, double check natin ito. 8.5. Yung ating, okay, sandali. 8.5 minus 1 million. Ito yung grant. So 7.5 yung carrying amount ng asset. Diba? 7.5 minus, okay. Oh, mali tayo dito. It should be 7,500,000 minus 1,400,000. That should be 6.1. Okay, so may typo error tayo dito, no? So at least we can still correct it, no? At this point, habang nire-record at dinidiscuss natin ito. So it should be 6.1 million. Bakit? Kasi yung carrying amount is net of the 1 million. So tanggalin natin yon. In fact, tanggal na siya dito eh. Kaso pagdating doon, naging 8.5. So, 7.5. No, yun na yung book value. Yung original carrying amount net of the government grant. Eh, meron kang 1.4, di ba? Or, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, 7 million times 4 divided by 5 plus 500,000. That is 6.1 million. Okay? So, I hope klaro po tayo dito. Next, ito na, for the remaining 5 questions, ito naman ay capitalizable cost of PPE. Beginning with question number 21, ang tinatanong dito, cost of building. So may binili kang parcel of land for 1 million. An old building was demolished and construction began on a new building. Ang tinatanong, cost of building. Okay? Ang demolition cost ay 100,000. Architect fee, 175. Okay? Siyempre, kasama yan. Legal fee for title investigation and purchase contract. Hindi po dapat yan. Pang-land dapat yan, di ba? Construction cost, 5.45 and salvage materials results from demolition, hindi po natin yan nilineto. So, magkano yun? Pakita ko yung solution. The correct answer is, no, magkano? 5,725. Ito, na 100,000. Demolition cost ay hindi deduction doon sa land, no? It is added doon sa cost ng new building. Plus yung 175, okay? Plus yung construction cost na 5,450. Sige, pa-double check po nito ha. Napa-compute na rin tuloy ako. Baka mamaya may typo error pa tayo. Tama naman. No? 5,725. Okay? That's question number 21. Question number, eto, dalawang tanong. Okay? Question number 22 and 23 yata ito. Kaso, hindi kita. So, ayun. Yun lang. Sige, tignan natin ito. Please bear with me. You have copies of this naman. Amount to be reported as cost of land and cost of building. Okay, magkano yung land, magkano yung building. So, balik na natin doon sa 220%. So, eto, alin dito yung cost of land, alin yung cost of building. May binili ka na land na may lumang building. Anong gagawin mo sa building? I-demolish for the construction of a new building? If yes, idagdag natin yung demolition cost sa new building. Fair value ng old building, we will have to ignore this. Okay, cost of demolishing old building, ano yan? Doon sa, tawag nito, new building. Title insurance and legal fees to purchase land, architect fee, building. New building, construction cost, building. Survey before construction, ano yan? Land or building. Building permit, land or building. Okay, para guided po kayo, pakita ko na yung solusyon para, ayan. Ito, no? So, survey, pag land, dilaw, pag building ay green. Survey before construction, papasurvey ka muna, that should be attributable to the cost of the building, of the land. So, 100,000 is part of the land. Building permit, di syempre, building cost. Excavation before new construction, sa building po yan. Kaya ka nag-excavate kasi nga magpapatayo ka ng bagong building. Liability insurance during construction, capitalizable as part of your building. During. Okay? Pag after, hindi na po. No? Alright? Meron pa ba dito sa baba? Ito naman kasi, pang land improvements. Although wala namang tinatanong about land improvements. Pero binigyan lang natin ng separate na kulay. So, your answer for number 22 should be letter C. 4.8. Alin lang po yun? Itong tatlo. 4, 5, 200, 100. Tapos, itong number 23, 97, cost of the new building. Tama ba yun? Ito, 300 plus 950 plus 8 million. Okay, plus 150 plus 300. Pagsamahin natin. 97. Okay? So, yes, tama naman. So, eto naman, land improvements ito, depreciable. New fence surrounding the new building constructed after the completion. Driveways, parking bays, safety lighting, cost of trees, shrubs. Scrubs? Scrubs ba to or shrubs? I think this is shrubs. Okay. Yung mga, hindi ko lang alam kung typo ito, pero dapat, for me, shrubs dapat yan. Cost of lighting and signage. So, ito naman ay mga land improvements. Okay? So, ayan po, 22, letter C, 23, letter A. Okay? Moving on to the second to the last question. Under the interpretations of the PIC, cost of land and building, respectively. Similar doon sa 23. Ang sinasabi lang naman ng PIC interpretation on the demolition cost, kung meron tayong demolition cost, magpapatayo ka ng bagong building, add sa cost of the building. Pero kung i-demolish mo, wala ka pang gagawing building, added to the cost of the land. Or depende sa proper classification, yung investment property or inventory, yung ating PPE. Or yung, yung asset. Okay? So, I hope you were able to itemize this. Cost of land, expenses on land survey, land title, building permit, pang building, etc. Pakita ko na yung solution, doon na tayo mag-explain. Yeah, So, yung actually, yung lang naman dito, ignore natin, ay etong 85,000. Kasi, ang binabanggit dito is, nagkaroon ng injury na nasustain yung mga construction workers. Kasi wala tayong insurance. Sabi natin, kung may insurance ka, capitalized as part of the building, during the construction. Pero kung wala kang insurance at nag-incur ka ng expenses, in this case, 85,000. Kasalanan mo yan kasi wala kang insurance. So, dapat meron kang insurance. Okay? So ito, expense natin. But the rest ay capitalizable as part of the building. Payment to tenants to vacate the premise, papaalisin mo sila. Interest on temporary loan construction, ito po ay borrowing cost, di ba? Cost of paving, parking area are adjoining the building. Sabi natin, pag ano, no, part of the blueprint, no, yung ating parking, it should be capitalized as part of the building and not as land improvement. No? Okay? Excavation expenses, malamang, and cost of construction. So when we do the math, that should be letter D, 4536 and 10245 respectively. Okay? So yan po, no, yung ating number 24. And proceed tayo sa last item. Ang tinatanong po dito, capitalizable amount ng cost of equipment. Bumili ka ng centrifuge, 840. Meron kang shipping fee, 50. Foundation work to house the centrifuge, 80. Additional water line, kailangan daw ito, 40. Labor and testing cost, 60,000. Material use up and testing cost, 30. Lahat po yan, ika-capitalize natin. So, ito po ay nagkakahalaga ng 1,100,000 pesos. Okay? So, pa-double check po ng mga amounts. No, lahat po yan ika-capitalize. 840 plus 50 plus 80 plus 40 plus 60 plus 30. 1,100,000. Okay? So, there you go, no? That ends the review questions. Wala nang iba. Okay? So, I hope you are able to answer these questions. Let me know na lang, no? You can ask in case meron kayong for clarification. But that ends our review material na part 1. To follow yung part 2. At this point, I will now end our recording. Thank you. Bye-bye.